Hi guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to learn about Ansible network modules. Ansible network modules can configure your network state, test and validate existing network state, and discover and correct network configuration drift. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of Ansible will be absolutely clear to you. This series divided into multiple parts, therefore subscribe to the channel and follow the playlist.
But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOps School certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best and start today.
See here. Now, okay. So here we have a remote machine. And as per the image, I think I closed that image. So here we have, this is ACS and this is the ARS. Now guys, this can be Windows, this can be Linux. I'm not talking about right now Windows, keep it aside, only Linux. Right? So when, see here, between this to this machine, which protocol it works? Any idea?
SSH.
Okay, that's good. So how connections from ACS to ARS is made? Answer is SSH. This is called I'm discussing basically here authentication and authorization. Okay, do you understand what is authentication, right? How can we log in? Authorization means what you can do, I mean what you are allowed to do. That's called authentication and authorization. So here SSH. Now how SSH authentication and authorization works, that we need to understand. Authentication, authorization works. We are using SSH from last so many years, so I don't think so we'll get stuck. Tell me how this machine can connect to this machine or this machine. Tell me. Authentication. Tell me guys.
Through IP and
IP address and
if there is port, then we need to enter port.
Port. Okay, what else?
Root password or sudo
user.
Use
And password. Are we having anything else also?
Key.
Wonderful. So this is the way one Linux machine connect to another Linux machine. This is also Linux, this is also Linux, this is also Linux. So connect, these are the two ways. This is called authentication. How do you do authorization? How do you do the authorization? Tell me.
User level.
So how can you
roles and permissions?
SSH config file.
No. If you want to elevate your access, what do you do typically? and something which I hate it all the time.
Becomes
Permission.
root user.
Sudo, right? If you want to elevate your permission, you do the sudo, right? This is the standard, industry standard right now. Correct, na? Correct, na?
Yes.
So in SSH, most of us are using sudo. There are few more authorizations are there, okay? But sudo is the global, standards, industry standard. Now sudo has a multiple behavior, guys. Okay, sudo without password. Right now, this is a sudo without a password. See, this is I'm root, exit. See, this is the CentOS. If I do sudo without a password, I become a root. So sudo without a password. Another behavior is sudo with a password. Sometime when you do the sudo, you will ask you, prompt you the password. Give me your username. Password. User password. So sudo with a password. Have you seen this behavior? Sudo with a password.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Sometime what happens? Sudo with another user and password. That is a thing. See, understand. Sudo with another user and password. That means if you do the sudo, okay, then you will not be using your user ID, but other user ID and other password. Why this happens? In a production server, most of the time, you will have such scenario. For example, you have this jump server. Okay, jump server. I'm just using my scenario. Jump server. Here, jump server, many people log in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20. But these people are not having sudo access, no sudo access. They can log in, but can't get sudo access. Why? Because what we do, we create a one user, created a utility account and utility password. This user we add in this user only allowed to do the sudo. If you try to do sudo without, if you are not a sudoer list, if you are not in sudoer list, and if you are trying to do the sudo, then the machine will inform you, sudoer, you are not in a sudoer list. This incident will be notified to administrator. Have you seen this message? Have you seen this? Guys, are you there? Guys?
No, actually I didn't. I never seen.
Okay, no problem. So let me show you.
In our case, we don't use any jump server most of the time. I mean, people who are here, most of them never would have went through this.
Yeah, no problem. So here you see here, I'm logged into one of the server. Okay, I logged in here, and now sudo -s. See here, and I don't remember the, see here, password it asked me. I don't remember the password, by the way. I just typed anything and it tried. So if you ask fee, this message you will get it. You are not in a sudoer list. This message will be, this incident will be modified. Let me show you that message. You are not in sudoers file. This incident will be reported. This is the one. Okay, so you will get this. So guys, these are the authorization. This is the authentication. Okay, so are you comfortable with this this concept? Guys, are you comfortable with this concept?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Now see, this concept we need to use it when we connect the machine from the ACS to ARS. Okay, that's one thing. Authentication and authorization. So this is done. Now I want to learn how can I pass. Understand that this is the code actually I am having, and I want to run. I'll just remove this one. These three code I have, three ad hoc commands I have it, but I don't want to run in the local host. I want to run in the remote machine. Okay, remote machine. Okay. So now if I want to run in the remote machine, then I don't know how to run that in the remote machine. So if I don't know, then I will ask Ansible help file. and I should know. So these are the pattern, host pattern. Now, how do I provide a pattern for remote machine? So here optional arguments are there, and I will read it each and every one, and I'm trying to find it out. How can I give the pattern for the remote machine? Okay, so do you see any option? Do you see any options? Guys, do you see any options? Look out for it. Look out for it. Hello guys, are you able to hear me? Hello?
Rajesh, I
Yes,
couldn't
Rajesh.
hear you.
Okay, please tell me, because I get anxious, assuming that my internet has gone.
Rajesh, can you please repeat what were you asking? Some network problem at my end. I didn't hear it the first time.
Yeah, I was asking, I want to run this module in the remote machine, but I don't know that which option I should go for it. So how do I know which option I should select?
Full path.
Inventory. See here, -I stand for inventory. You can use -inventory also. You can use -inventory -file also. In short, you can use -I here. And what exactly is doing? Specify inventory, host, path, or comma separated host list. This is deprecated. So basically, now we need to know what is inventory. Correct now? What is inventory? Okay, everyone is connected with me, because I'm getting very less response actually for all of you. I remember I get 2 or 3 response only. I can recall their name also. Right? So did you understand that? What is I'm trying to solve now?
Yes,
Right?
Rajesh.
Yes.
Yeah. So now what I learned, let me find it out. So I learned in the initial session, there is an inventory. Who will write it? There is an inventory component of ACS. The inventory could be a file, but created by us. What it contains? List of ARS server IP address. So this I ask you to, I said this is to, so you can understand. But inventory, the definition of inventory is much more than that. Okay, so inventory is a list of, I'll put it like this, so you'll read it very carefully. List of IP address. Yes, guys, this is a list. Now, when I say list, that I hope you understand what is a list, right? List is always comma separated. Element, we call it element. List is a IP address will be element. This is called IP address is an element. Okay, this is element. Are you getting my points here? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, inventory is a list of IP address. This IP address is, you call it element. Now this can pass. See here, I'm very specifically saying can be passed over, again, command line, can be a file, yes, can be script also, guys, and can be a directory structure, directory also. Yeah, so many things, not confusing with to everything, but this can be many things actually. It can be on command line, it can be in a file, it can be in a script, it can be in a directory. That means any ways you pass, it should be in a list format, and that list format, each element should be consist of the IP address or domain name, DNS name, host name, host name, whatever it is. So guys, did you understand what is the inventory?
Yeah. Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, good. Now here I am going to try it out first one because I'm all together. I am trying it out over the command line. So let me ask you here, instead of localhost, because I learned from you guys only -I should pass. So that's okay, no problem. So here I pass -I, that I did it, but I should pass the IP address. Now I need IP address from where I'm going to take it up. So I'm going to steal all of your IP addresses, few of them. I'm taking from the Sriram. Okay, I'm taking from the Sriram, and I'm taking from the Shushma. Okay, Sriram, I got it. Sushma, I got it, and Vishal, I'm going to steal your IP address also. You can steal others also, no problem. You have an agreement within your friends. Okay, so here these are the 3 IP address I stolen. Okay, 3 IP address. Now, should I put it -I, 3 IP address? So how can I put it up? So this is this the list? Tell me, is this the list? See, I told you very clearly, inventory is a list. Is this the list?
No.
No.
No. Comma separated.
Is this the list?
It will be comma separated IP address.
So is this a list?
No, we'll have to maybe put it inside braces or something.
And another IP address.
Conceptually it is a list, guys, because this is a list, comma separated elements, and yeah, the bracket, no bracket, that's so out of the question, because sometimes we declare the list with a bracket, semi bracket, square bracket, this bracket, that bracket. So that's, I'm not talking about here, but conceptually this is a list. An element you have in this list is only one, correct? Okay, so the moment we keep the comma, that's become a list. And I am not telling you, I'm not teaching you, you learned yourself. See here, see here, comma separated host list. Okay, so this is the list. Okay, so here this is the list. Now can I replace? I did. Okay, so this is my list. Okay, so now this is done. Are you okay so far?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, what happens in this picture? There is a 3 machines, but in real time you may have a 50 machines for your environment. I said environment, understand that. Environment, which includes dev, QA, pre-production, production. But each environment you have a different role of server. Not everything you install everywhere. Okay, understand that. Now all of this, I'm saying all of this, you have a multiple machines right now. So not everything you install in everything. Let's say here is a web server. This is the web server. This is the app server. This is a database server. So you will install MySQL here, Tomcat here, Nginx or Apache here, something like this. So you will not do everything on every machines. Okay, so this is the list. This list represent your environment. Okay, so will you do every places this stuff, or will you do only that these machines? So this machine, this whole environment is one list, out of which this one we call it a group. In this we call it group. Okay, so this is the group. Will you remember this one? Okay.
Yes.
So guys, yes, inventory has a group. Yes, inventory has a group. An interestingly thing, inventory has a group of group also. I mean, group of multiple group also. And inventory has a behavioral parameter. I'm writing it. I'll cover one by one, not at a time. I'm going to complicate, so you'll get lost. Don't mind it, but I'm just pushing all these options because I'm defining what is inventory. So the inventory has this one, has a group of group, behavioral parameter, and variables, has variables and stuff like that. Now group, when I say, so there is a 2 group which is default actually. One is all and one is a no group. When I say default, that means given by Ansible. I'm writing by Ansible. All means everything in the host file, and this is means that host is part of the no group, something like this. Okay, so now if I say, let me run first, okay, because I want to show you the error so you get at least a little bit of memories while working with it. See here, this says this command is not in a good format, too few arguments. That means, can I pass this here? So this one, so do I, because this is the default, so I want to run all. So here what I'm saying, Ansible run what? This module with what argument? These arguments. To which are the machines? All. Of what? Of this list. Are you getting the logic here? Are you getting the logic? Understand that all are having. So here I did, and now done. So guys,
but I'm having a doubt, Rajesh. Yeah, that type is only one list is there. Then this all, like, I didn't get it.
So here, conceptually, I understand. I have only one.
Okay.
Only in my whole list, I have only one machine. So that's become all. Okay. If I have two machines, that will become all. So here, important thing is, what is this?
Yeah.
What is list? It's a list, right? It can be one machine, two machine, 2,000 machines. I don't care right now. Correct, no?
Yeah. Got it.
Got it? Yeah. So here, can I run this command? Can I run this command? I'm running in the someone machines 209. Okay. So please be mindful about it. See here, what is this? Because you guys are working in the Linux since many years, you have to teach me now, because I have no idea about this. What is this?
Authentication.
No. Read it. You see this message almost every second or third day.
When we try to connect to Git or something, it also shows.
Key issue.
No. This is a Linux behavior, sir. How can you miss this? And it's there since ages. I remember since my first day I touched my Linux machine in my office, first company. This message I've been receiving since then.
This is basically put all the system which is connected, puts in the list of what do you call it? Authenticated systems, caching the fingerprints.
Let me explain.
SSH keys, basically.
So here, what is happening? Let me explain it to you. See what happens. CentOS. I'm log into the same machine. Okay, one more time. CentOS sudo -s. I'm sorry. And go to that SSH. And you see here, watch ls. There's only one file. Okay. Now see what happens. See what happens. See, when you connect, it's a Linux behavior. Okay, it's a SSH behavior. Nothing to do with the Ansible. When you connect first time new machine. Okay. When you connect first time new machines. Let me connect this. Okay. So basically, when you connect the first time a new machines, they will, your source machine will tell you using SSH protocol. Okay. Source machine will tell you, okay, you are trying to connect to unknown machine. Okay. Unknown machine. Are you sure you want to connect? It's a security feature. Let me do that. SSH root or CentOS at the rate of IP address. See here. Enter. See here. It's trying to. If you say yes, I know that, I'm sure about it, then you see in your source machine, known host will be created. From next time, it will not ask you. It will not ask you. Forget about this permission denied issue. I don't care about that. Okay, because permission I have not given it. But known host, I'll delete this file. See here, rm known host. Again, if you try to connect, see again it asks. So this is the this is the file to this is the way to make sure that you are connecting to the right machine, which you know that this is just the threshold. Are you getting it once? If you say no, if you say no, let me watch this. If you say no, see, you will not get connect because host key verification failed. This is SSH behavior. Now there is a problem with me. The problem here is when I run this command, I have a one host. Just hold. I have a one host. If I have a one host, okay, then it's okay. If I have a one host, if I say yes, that's okay. But imagine if you have a list of 500 machines, then how many times you will see okay. Are you getting the problems?
Yeah.
And it's a problem. It's a headache. So any solution you think of? This is a Ansible SSH behavior. Any solution which you can think of?
SSL authentication probably.
Can we do something here? This part.
In config file, can we add?
Yeah. See, I told you, right? It's a behavior of SSH, which is used by Ansible. So can I change this behavior in Ansible itself? That means if you are using Ansible, that SSH, that fingerprinting should be disabled. So how can we disable that? Or how can you enable whatever it is? So Ansible config file. If you remember, where is a config file? I think I have here. So can I do one thing? Can I go to that machine? Okay. VI. Now the question is, I don't know which options is there to be enabled or disabled, whatever it is. No problem. Slowly you'll get to know. I know that for host key checking, this is the one. By default, it is enabled. So I have to disable it by enabling it. I did disable. Now onwards, it will not ask you that prompt because that will be created automatically. This will not ask you. And you see here, it got created automatically. You see, let me show you here. See the known host. I will delete this known host. See here, watch ls. It's there. I will see. I run. It didn't ask me, but this guy got created. So did you see that? So what I'm trying to say overall, I'm not teaching you this behavior alone. I'm teaching you if you want to change any behavior of Ansible, there are 200, 300, more than 300 behaviors are there in that file. If you want to change any behaviors, hard code your mind. Ansible configuration file. Will you remember this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So now guys, I think we are done with it almost. Let's move on to the topic. So here I am running this and installing in 209. Let me check what is the error message I'm getting. So clear this here and see there is a permission issues. I told you if you connect from the ACS to ARS, then there is a permission issues, and you only help me out. For permission, you have to use this one or this one. And for authorization, you have to use one of these. So let me see that I have this scenario, guys. I have IP address given, port 22 default. I don't have to change it. Username CentOS, key I have it. So let's do one thing. How can I pass this authentication that I don't know? So can you please help me here? Ansible? And I think only few people are speaking. So I would request you, for the people who's speaking, because I know I can read their names, but those who are not speaking on regular basis, please speak up. You only help me. How can I pass the username? Not a regular guy, those who are always responding, but someone who has never responded.
Rajesh -u, remote user.
So if I want to pass the username -u, you only taught me, which is here. Okay, now I have a password. How can I pass the password? Anyone, any options?
ASK pass.
Private key.
-k. Wonderful. I got to learn from you only. Okay, now I have a here username. That's okay. You told me, I remember, but I have a keys now. How do I pass the keys? Which options?
Private key. Private key.
Key file.
Yeah, private.
Can I private key also will work? Yeah, this one also will work. This one also will work. Right? Key file. Now this is done, guys. Okay, port 22 is a default, so don't have to change it. Now authorization. So here, how can become a sudo? I want to become a sudo. So here you see this is the connection option. But if you go a little bit up, escalation, authorization options. So how can I become a sudo? Can you help me here? Which options is required out of which?
Become user.
Become user. So here -b. But there is a problem. I have a become, but with a password. So which options will ask me? Which will help me?
-capital A.
-capital A. Yes, wonderful. You are teaching me. So here first become -b and then capital K. Capital K. Wonderful. But here I have another user. See, I will become, but after that he'll ask me other user and other password. Okay, not my user, not my password, other user. For authentication, to become. Okay, to become. So which option I should use?
Become user.
Become user. So here you have to use -become user and capital K for this password. Different user, different password to become. This is the authorization option. This is the authentication option. Are you getting my points here? What I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So we got it. So guys, and by the way, let me tell you guys, there's a method also. Sudo is the default method, which is the industry standard, but there's so many methods are there. I'm not covering it because it's out of scope and out of our use cases also. Okay, so this is the one. So okay, so I've got it done. Good. So here I was having the problem, and the problem is the permission issues. And here I got the permission issue. So what I'm going to do, because my scenario is very simple, I have a keys rajeshmumbai.pem. Okay, I am sharing that keys with you, and I think you have it. Where to download, you know that very well. But again, if you want to use my machine, you can use my machine. All of you can use my machine. Okay, no problem. So which directory? This is the directory. Okay, now here what I will do, this machine will become a ACS for everyone. So for that I need to do a little bit of background work also, and that is I am going to and here I'm going to clone this. So git is there? No, is there not there? Yum install git -y. So guys, now onwards you won't get separate machine, but this machine will become a everyone machine. Remember, this is the path. Don't work in the CentOS root. Okay, so here I'm cloning this repository, and here it is. Okay, I got this file. Now my name is Rajesh. I mean onmob, right? Not here. This is the onmob. So this is my name, Rajesh. I'll go into my. It's like that. You will create your own directory in this machine. Okay, and here I am creating Ansible. So mkdir Ansible, and go to Ansible. And here I need the PM file. So here I am creating a PM file. You can copy from my location. So vi remote.pem file. This is the key, and chmod, it should be 600. Okay, always Linux says 600 to the private keys. Now I got it. I need an index file also, by the way. So index 2. Okay, so I got here remote.pm access file. I got the file which I want to deploy it, and finally I will insert that option. So here -u, what is this u? CentOS, and -key file, which is here. This is authentication. Okay, this is authentication is equal to remote.pm, right? Now authorization -b, and the scenarios for me is like this one. So I will not use any of these options, but I explain you. If you come across that same situation, you can use it. So guys, my command is almost ready. I have to test this. Okay, so 14, click OK. Now it's I think it's a visual. So can I run this command here and here? Okay, so run this command. See here, done. Can I do one thing? Can I do the rest of the changes also here? See here. So copy this. Done. And third one. See here. Third one. Started. Can we validate? 209. See, welcome to DevOps School Ansible versus class 1. That's my message. I deployed it. Now the next question is, I am not happy with one machine. So can I do one thing? I will add more machines to one. So let's do this. So here, what I will do, see that here, guys, here I will put more IP address, comma, more IP address, comma, and here 1, 2, 3. Did you understand this? What I'm doing?
Yes.
Hello, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. Okay. Now, done. See here, I am deploying to all 3 machines at one go. Only one module, done. It was already done by you guys, so it's just confirming me. It's already up to date. This is done. You are not having, see, one has a index.html, but another people are not having it. So that's one thing. My index.html, okay, not yours. And here started the services. Okay, it was running already. So now can I validate? Second machine, third machines. See, done. So easy. It's not very difficult. Did you understand this, guy?
Yes, Rajesh.
Rajesh, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
If the password for the 3 machines vary, or that key file, if it is different for different machines.
Huh.
So how do you pass that?
You have to run it separately.
No. That's not an automation way. So that your answer is hidden in this one. Okay. So hold that question till that moment. I will explain it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So guys, the problem will start like when you have a more than 2-3 machines, then you'll start feeling. So would you really like to do this one? You tell me. Would you really like to do this one?
No.
No, of course not, right? You hated this one. So here, see, I told you, right? Inventory can be passed over the command line, which is in a list format, but can be a file also. And this is the INI format. Okay, INI format. That means typical file which you use day-to-day activities. It can be a file also. So what I'll do, I'll create what? Inventory file. See here, I create file. Yes, inventory file. How can I create? Let's copy this list of IP address. Copy it here. Copy this here. VI inventory, and see here. Now saved it. Now instead of passing these 3 IP address, now what I'm going to do is -I inventory. Did you understand that, guys?
Yes.
So simple, right? You see that your this problem is solved by the inventory file. Now can I try this? So here, see, done. And you know, I want to deploy the index.html version 2. Okay, so this is the version 2 software. Okay, this is the version 2 software. So copy, done. Clear the screen. Done. Can I validate? Version 2. Okay, remember. See, version 2. So I see how it is very simple right now to do the things. So I said here, remember, it can be over the command line also. It can be over the file also. It can be a file also. And you see that it can be a file also. Now, guys, this is not helping me out because in the inventory, you'll be having 200 files of the entire environment. And here, grouping, custom group you want to create. Whereas all is not the always applicable. You don't want to do everything in every machine. So I said very clearly, you have a group also and group of group also. Now the question is how to create a group in the inventory file. Very simple, guys. Here, look at this. I create this inventory file. I convert this into the group called web. This is the all. That's all. This is the group in the square bracket. Now I create a DB, one group, and I have a fake IP address. Some fake IP address, guys, which is from the other server. So this is my inventory. So here, what I'm going to do is I've got the 2 inventory group, one inventory group, web group, and DB group. So can I paste this code in my inventory? And here, and see here. Now, do you have a group? Which one? Web. So now this command will change to web because you want to only run in this, not in the DB. If I run the DB, it will fail because that is not existing. So now let me try this one with web and clear the screen. Here, this is the web group of the inventory. It's done. Can I do this one for the DB? And you see here, DB. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I did this. DB. And you see here, those IP addresses. I'll match this connection and timeout issues. See here, unreachable, 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 unreachable. Only for these machines. Can I do all? Can I do all? All means few will be success, few will be failed because some of the machines are not accessible. The DB group. Okay. So guys, this is the way. See here, unreachable, unreachable. Some of the machines got it done early. That is a log. So like this. So did you understand this here, guys? Group. Did you understand the group?
Yes.
Rajesh.
Yes.
Rajesh, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask whether these commands, I mean, if we are grouping it by IPs or something, so are these sequential? Like one after the other, it will execute?
No. This is not sequential. This is in a parallel. Okay. Remember, this tool is designed for the parallel work, but task will be executed sequential. Means right now there's only one task, so there's no problem. But if you have a multiple task in the playbook, that will be sequenced. But for time being, default, that means here this ACS server will can send this command to 5 machine parallel, and that is called fork. Okay, that is called forking. So you can increase this number of forking by changing the configuration. So here if you see etc ansible.cfg, and do you have a fork somewhere? I could not get it.
Forks equals to 5 was there.
Yeah, see here, fork is equal to 5. So here it's a set default. That means this ACS can, my machine ACS can send the task to the remote machine 5 in one go. If you want to increase, you can increase, but you should be having more CPU, more RAM, and all kind of things. Is that answer your questions?
Yeah, I mean, partially it answers, but my doubt is again that will it wait for the execution of those 5 to complete before sending the others?
No. By the way, let me tell you here that that question itself should not come here. Why? That question should not come here because I am at that time I am sending only one module. So if you have a multiple module, then those questions should come. Getting my points? Are you getting points? Here I am running one by one. No, it's manual work I am doing. I am not running multiple. So this is sent. This module is sent to the remote machine parallelly to the 3 machines. But here is got the response. After that, I'm doing this one now. Manually, I'm doing it. So there's no multiple modules I'm executing in one go.
No, I'm not talking about modules. But the inventory list has what 3 plus 4, 7 IPs, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, okay, I agree. Right now we are doing one module. So module level, the processing will be, because it is single module at a time. So that kind of behavior cannot be expected right now. But what I am saying is at the machine level also. So since we have 8 IPs,
so I'll put it in this way. If you have a 20 IP address, then this module by default will be sent to the 5 machine at a time in one batch.
Okay.
And then second time 5 machine, third time 5 machine, fourth time 5 machine. Now, if this machine has done it, they will send you the response. So that way, sometime what happens, you is still sending at the sometime you got a response back also saying that this has been done or something like that. So right now, because of the forking is set to 5 machines at a time, that ACS will send the instruction to ARS
without blocking anything, and then it will again send for the next 5, right?
It will not wait for that.
Got it. That was my question actually. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So now you see that here, slowly we are understanding this. It can be a file also. It has a group. It can be a group of group also. How can you have a group of group? So simple, same file, convert into, let's say have a 2 group, web 1 and web 2. So now there's a 2 group, web 1 and web 2. So how can we have a group of group? So here web all and children. If it's special syntax, okay, this you have to specify. If the children you do not specify, then it will become a group. Okay, if you do not specify this one, then it will become a group. And here you have to specify web 1. Okay, understand, there's just some catch here. Okay, this is a group of group, but let me copy this. And here, what is this? Do you know what is this?
This is not group of group. It is
one is group of groups, another is a group.
This is a group, and what is this? Web 1?
Group.
No.
Host name.
No. Host name, sir.
Host
I told you it can be IP address or host name also, right? I told you very clearly, na?
Right.
See here, IP address and host name, correct? Na? So here, understand that there's a cache. So this is a group. This is the host name. But if you put the children, then it required the not host name. It required the name of the group, valid name of the group. So please understand this cache. Okay. So here I'll move this one to last one. So here I'm creating two group and web all and group of group. So vi inventory guys, web all. So now what I will do, web all. Web all has three machines altogether, web all. And here you can do web 1, web 2 also. So many combinations you can do. It's conceptually, if you're strong, then you can understand all this customization. This is also you can do that. Okay. So here if I do all machines of web all, okay, three machines altogether. Can I do this one also? And you see here, this is anyways I show you. So guys, I have completed still here and till here. Okay, this is out of
Rajesh, one I actually could not understand. How is it differentiating between the group of groups and a group with host names?
see, that's what I said. No, the moment you have a group
The
name
command,
with
command and thing.
Yeah, children.
The command Ansible web all we have written, no? So how is it differentiating between?
So they read
the
this. No, web all is in declare in the inventory. So they go here, read it, and this implementation is done in the Ansible. The moment they detect this one, so they try to resolve this web 1, web 2 as a group. Internally, those implementation happen.
Down also you mentioned web all. In same file, this one.
What I am saying is, how is it differentiated? Which one you want to use?
Just a second. So I did not declare web all because this was only for the discussion. Okay. The question
so is, if there is something like that, how will it be possible?
What is that?
He's asking whether if web all and web all : children is both are declared in the same inventory file, how will Ansible differentiate between both?
Okay, so I think group of group and group name, if you duplicate, let me try because I don't know. I have not tried this one because conceptually, if I speak, then web all is a group name and a group of group name. So web all, if you call it, I think it is it will throw an error. Okay, web all. Let me try. So here, what I'm doing, web all, I'm trying. Okay, and you see here, see here. So here they see here they said found both group and host with the same name, web 2 and web no. So this is the warning, you got it, and they try to resolve that web 1 and web 2. So see what has happened when you run this web all, then first it run this one. Just a second.
Group of groups.
No. So if you try this one, web all, okay, and you see here, I'm running one more time, web all. So here first they try to see the group. Okay, understand that. Okay. First they try to see the group. Here, look at this. So group, okay, which is hitting this one, web 1 and web 2, which is not a host in this case. So it got unreachable. After that, they got into the web all as children also because it was matching. So yeah, so they have appended those list of servers from here. So I think this is the implementation.
That means if I put same name ka two group of groups or two groups, then both will be executed.
Both will be executed. In this case, it's executing both. Right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So now we see here, we have covered so many things. Now command line file. So let me go to my Excel sheet and see that where we stand. So we stand. Guys, see here, let's do the done something like that. So guys, are you okay with the do one task in one machine, localhost? Can we say done?
Yes.
Okay. So here this is done. Are you okay with the one remote machine?
Yes.
Yes.
This is also done. Now, are you okay with the multiple remote machine using inventory?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you okay with the multiple remote machine using group in the inventory?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See that we completed the task. See here, inventory part we have completed. Just now, after that, we have to just learn the playbook. Playbook is that simple. I'll teach you. That's not a difficult thing. But now, after some time, we'll move on to the playbook. This is what we have. Okay. So now, let me give you assignment. So let me stop the recordings.
If you liked our Ansible session so far, please enroll for our channel membership 399 plan to get access of all the parts. Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 399 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.